in small rooms, okay?
Okay, guys, so now I'm gonna split you guys in small rooms, okay? So when you are in the rooms, please choose a leader to guide the conversation, introduce yourselves, and be respectful. So just a minute.
Everyone can see the questions in the chat?
Renata is here for the first time, right?
Okay.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
Can we let's start, Gabriel?
Yeah, so let's start the conversation. You can start.
Okay, thank you. So, everybody present yourselves. I will start, okay? So, hello everyone, my name is Fabiola. I am 24 years old. I work as shipping supervisor in a factory, and I live in Tocantinópolis, Tocantins.
Is there an order to be followed, or we just
We
go?
don't have an order. You can speak now.
Okay, I'm Renata. I'm 30-something years old. I'm from Porto Alegre, and I work as a web developer here.
Nice to meet you, Renata. I hope you like our meeting.
Thank you.
Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm from Campinas, and I'm here because I love speaking English. Next.
I am Karina. I am 25 years old. I'm from Florianópolis, but now I'm living in Toronto, Canada, and I'm here to improve my English. And that's it.
How about you, Maria Eduarda?
My name is Maria Eduarda. I am 19 years old. I live in Florianópolis, and I work as a software developer intern. And I'm finishing my graduate as systems analysis and development. That's it.
Okay. How about you, Gabriel?
I'm Gabriel. I'm 21 years old and I live in São Paulo. It's a pleasure to meet you.
So I will read one question and Gabriel will read the next, okay? So guys, what's beauty for you? Anyone can answer.
Well, I will give a shot. I think beauty is a complex concept. It depends a lot on your perspective, on your on the understandings you have about people, about the world, and the inner concepts you have about yourself and about life. I think there is a lot here to be considered to define beauty. It's really personal and complex. Sometimes the same single thing to two different people can be beautiful or ugly. You see, they may have different opinions about the same thing, depending on the subject understanding they already have about something. So in my opinion, it's a very complex concept and it's hard to define it. Only one sentence I can define beauty. I think I can't define beauty. I think we need something not abstract, but something we can see, a thing, for example, as a parameter to consider and to analyze. And you will receive many different opinions about the same thing. So it's a very subject concept. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Someone else?
Yeah, I agree with Melissa, and I think beauty don't have a correct or wrong. People can think that this is a beauty and it's not, and but nowadays many people that say what is wrong in beauty or in people, like the video that you showed for us before, Fabiola, but I think it's not, don't have correct and wrong answer for this.
Yes, it's a hard question. How about you, Renata? What's beauty for you?
We have been given an example of this clip regarding beauty for regarding concerning people, but I think this question can also be thought as something bigger than that concept, because beauty is not just in a person. It can be something in a flower or in the environment you see when you are walking around or something like that. I think beauty is a very abstract concept, but it's influenced by our societal expectations. It may be a personal concept, but we cannot see it as it's just a personal choice, because where we are, the culture we are part of influences that concept, I think.
Yeah. How about you, Maria Eduarda?
So I think beauty is something that we think is good for us. I can't generalize this, So for me, beauty is something, and for you, beauty is another thing. So that's my concept of beauty.
Yeah, I agree with you all. for me, beauty is something that you can appreciate, you know. How about you, Gabriel? What's beauty for you?
I totally agree with you guys. I think like everyone like define beauty as a thing, you know. So I think the person has a beauty, but the person has not a beauty for me. But another person can think that the person is beautiful, and I think the person's not. So everyone has an opinion about it, about people and about image, sculptures, and etc.
So, what's the beauty standards related with women and with men? Renata.
Well, this music video that we were presented gives us some clues. It says you have to be blonde, you have to be thin, you have to, I don't know, I don't remember everything, but you get the clue. And during the video, it shows women. It hardly shows any men, because obviously women have to be pretty. That's like our function in society, right? So we are held to a bigger standard than men, I think. Like, oh, we have to wear makeup to go out, for example, and to be considered pretty, and men don't. Sorry, I cannot articulate very well on this subject.
Don't worry. So how about you, Karina?
Yeah, I agree with Renata. Very standards related with women, it's bigger than men, and it's like a lot of standards, like have a blue eyes or green or blonde hair, and thin, and a lot of things, and always earn beautiful clothes, and be more female, that have a lot of standards, and it's complicated. And with men, they have too, but it's a little different, and I don't know how to explain, but it's more, I don't know how to explain this.
I understand. I think beauty standard in the most part of the time is more related with the woman's, you know. What do you think, Melissa?
I think I agree with what Renata said. I think there are some standards, like you have to be thin, you have to be blonde, you have to be this and that. But I think this question itself is a lot of, it's sad, because we shouldn't have standards to beauty. Beauty, in my opinion, is a subjective concept, and it depends on the perspective, the experience of life, the inner concepts of each one. So I think you may see beauty in many things, in different people, in different ways, and also in different ways of expression. So I think we shouldn't have standards. We shouldn't have this line of thinking of, you should be blonde, you should have green eyes, or this kind of body, athletic, you have to go to the gym. I think it's so I don't know, it's not cool. For me it's sad. I think it's sad. Like the song mentioned, she says we need a surgery in the soul, or a soul surgery. I don't remember very well, but she mentioned it. Inside, she was destroyed. She was terrible, and outside she was expressing perfection. Like she had the perfect makeup, the perfect hair, the perfect voice, but inside she was devastated. So that's my opinion about it.
Yeah, I agree with you. What do you think about this, Renata?
I think she's correct. And I don't know. Sorry.
Don't worry.
I only have my own opinions, but this is not quite a subject I am an expert in, I think.
How about you, Gabriel?
I totally agree with you. I think there are many standards for women and men, you know. For example, I think in Brazilian soap operas, like the main character, the woman, is always like thin, smooth face, you know, like she has like a big butt, you know. So, and the man is like the woman, like thin, like the same things, you know. So we can see like for example, a fat woman as a main character, you know, or a fat man as a main character in soap operas.
Yeah. Can you read the next for us, please?
Yeah, I can. Next question. Number 3. What's the beauty? No. 4 actually. Do you think there's some kind of perfect beauty? What do you think, Maria?
I don't think that there's a perfect kind of perfect beauty. I think that for me, beauty is something, as I say in the question before. For me, beauty is something, and for you, beautiful is another thing. So for you, perfect is something. For me, perfect is another thing. So I don't think that we can standard this kind of this. We can standard the beauty. So that's my opinion.
How about you, Melissa?
I very much agree with Flavia. I missed it here. Sorry. Because define perfect. First of all, define perfect. All right. So I agree very much with what she said, and we shouldn't have standards to beauty, as she said as well. And I think there is no perfect beauty. I think there is beauty for who is looking at that. But you cannot define that, you know, that's beautiful, that's not. As I said before, it depends on the person, on who sees that. Okay.
So you are saying that there could be a perfect beauty, but it couldn't be generalized, like it's not the same for everybody. It could
No,
be
no,
for
no, no.
just someone.
I think there wouldn't be a perfect beauty, but I think there may be beauty for who is looking at that, but not perfect. As I said at the beginning, define perfect, you know? So sometimes you are looking at the same thing as me, and I think that's beautiful, and you think that's not. So there is beauty, but there is no perfect beauty, in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Melissa. We have different concepts of perfection, you know? What do you think, Karina?
Yeah, I agree too. And I agree that beauty is unique. So we don't have perfect. Perfect is very complex word. So it's complicated to say that has some kind of perfect beauty.
Yeah, how about you, Renata?
I think there could be something that's perfect, which is flawless, which it needs no further like adjustment or something. It doesn't have to be in a person, you know. I don't know, go to the ocean and see a perfect view, and that's beauty. And it may not be the same for everyone else, but for me, that moment, that view is perfect. It doesn't need anything else to be pretty on itself.
Okay, so I will read the next, okay? Do you think we try to follow these beauty standards? You have any example of this? Someone can answer.
Yeah, I think a lot of people try to follow this beauty standard, like being slim, straight hair, or doing some surgery. And we saw a lot this in media social, and we saw a lot of influencers saying to do this, or people follow what the influencers say, and or the media or the magazine or another thing that said what is beauty standard. So yeah, I think a lot of people follow this.
Melissa?
I think unconsciously we try to. I think we do it, but it's unconscious sometimes. And because we try to feel beautiful. And I think the most important thing is to feel beautiful with yourself. But sometimes we are following a standard. I think it's inevitable. But I think we can accept other things too. We can accept ourselves in different ways other than those standards and feel beautiful with that. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that sometimes we follow some beauty standards. And for example, sometimes we can go to the gym because it's not for our health, you know, but it's only for to achieve the beauty standard. I agree with you. What about you, Maria?
I think that we are very related to Instagram and all social media. So sometimes, speaking for myself, sometimes we do follow these stereotypes. I don't know how to say it. Uh, and I think that it's a bad thing, but sometimes I do these things. So unfortunately, but it happens. So that's it.
Renata, how about you?
I don't think we can escape completely from trying to follow these standards, even if we do the minimal effort towards achieving that. But we do our eyebrows, we do our nails, we cut our hair as we think it's pretty, or as other people think it's pretty. Like most of the time we don't necessarily we might do something for ourselves, but we care about other people's opinion, and knowing that they like it and they find it pretty as well. So that's an example of following the standards, even though we might not go to extreme measures to achieve them.
Yeah. I over the next. I really like this question. How social media influence in our idea of beauty? What do you think about this, Maria Eduarda?
So I actually already see a little bit of Instagram in the previous question, but my opinion, I think that social media has a big influence about beauty and what we think that is perfect and what we think that beauty is. So that's my opinion. What about you, Melissa?
I agree with you. I think it has a big influence, and mostly because when people post pictures, they want to show they are always beautiful. usually, not everyone, not all the time, but usually people try to show they have this kind of hair, they throw the hair, they do the makeup, so they are pursuing some kind of beauty. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. How about you, Karina?
Yeah, I agree too. And as Maria Eduarda said, I follow for my example. I follow some people on Instagram that has some beauty standards and influence and some way. So it's very complicated. And as Melissa said, we saw a lot of how we said before that don't have perfect period, but we saw a lot for people saying that this is the perfect period, so we may follow this and inconsistently, but we may sometimes follow.
Yeah. What do you think, Gabriel?
Yeah, I think social media influence us to do these things, So, for example, if you follow, for example, if you're a woman and you follow, I don't know, Giovanna Antonelli, and she posts a picture of her, and you feel like, oh, I want to be like this woman. Look at her hair, look at her face. She's beautiful. I want to be like her, I don't know if women do that, but I think some women think like that, and it's not good. You can be as like you are, you know. You need to be like you are.
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys.
I think social media fails to show that there are flaws in people. Usually, I don't have Instagram, but I assume from what I read about it and everything that people will only want to publish and their most perfect pictures, and they add filters and so on. And it's like, you can't be human. You can't have flaws. You have to be that perfect thing that will be shoved in everyone's faces, and everyone around you is like this perfect, and how are you not? You know, I think social media influences like that.
I loved what you said, Renata, about social media doesn't show the flaws. I simply love it. It's perfect. It's perfect. And we tend to forget that we are humans and we have flaws. And it's part of us. And sometimes it's part of our beauty too. You know, who we are. As Gabriel said, we have to be who we are. We don't need to be a different person, like another person. We have to understand that we have to be who we really are, with our flaws that are part of us. So I think that was beautiful what you said, Renata.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, I totally agree with you. I think social media really can influence in our idea of the beauty, especially because sometimes the people don't share the defects, you know, so they only share with us the beauty of the things, and sometimes we can try to achieve the perfection that don't exist. I think this. So, Gabriel, could you read the next, please?
Yeah, for sure. Question number 7, right? Okay,
Yes.
so do you think have any relation between mental diseases, anxiety, depression, and the beauty standards? What do you think, Karina?
Yeah, I think it has a lot relation, and people starting seeing people that they think that are in beauty stand and try to arrive and think that this is, and they don't understand that any person has your own beauty and they want to achieve another beauty that it's not related with their beauty. So make a lot of people anxious and sometimes depression about this. And I am an example for this. I have years before I had anxious about seeing a lot of picture and models and seeing that I won't arrive the way that become the same body or something like this, and I was very worried about this. And after and nowadays I am seeing that it's very different each person, and you will not necessarily need be the same body or same hairs and a lot of things. That's it. And you, Renata?
I think that's a proven scientific fact that there is a relation. Well, if a person is in an environment which she is constantly, I would say nagged, but it's not quite that word, I think. But when she's in an environment where everyone else around them is saying, oh, you have to be like this, you have to be like that, and you have to be pretty. It's what the music video showed us. It's most certainly that she will develop some kind of trauma or mental illness regarding that. It's unavoidable, I think.
What about you, Melissa?
I also think there is a relation between mental diseases, mostly anxiety and distress and beauty standards, because the person puts lots of pressure over her or him, and she sometimes pushes herself a lot to the limits because she wants to be like that or like those or like this one. I must have this hair, so she spends money and time trying to do that, and it just puts pressure over you. And not only the hair I think is the simplest thing. I say more difficult things, issues like, I don't know, the face, the body. So I need to be athletic anyway, no matter what, at any cost. So and when the person doesn't get it, it's a huge frustration. It's frustrating. So the person gets disappointed, depressing, and more anxious because she must do that. So I think there is a strong relation, yes.
Yeah. How about you, Maria Eduarda?
About question number 7, I think that there's a lot of relationship between mental disease and beauty standards. They are very related to itself. So I think that anxiety and depression, they are, of course, they are related to beauty standards because we see on Instagram and we want to be like that woman. We see it on YouTube and we want to be like that woman. We want the hair, we want the eye color. So that's my opinion about it.
Yeah, I totally with you guys. I think we can see on the social medias some people that we think, so how can I say, perfect people with perfect life, and we can compare ourselves with them, and I think this isn't good for us. What do you think about this, Gabriel?
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. I think like these diseases are related to that, to how people feel when they see some photos on the internet or on social media. Fabiola, you're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought it was me. Sorry.
What would be the relation between plastic surgeries and beauty standards? I think your time is finished, so Melissa, you can answer.
I think plastic surgeries are very invasive and extreme measures, and there are people who use these measures to achieve something, and I particularly, for me, it wouldn't be possible. I don't like these kind of things. I really don't. I avoid them. I think plastic surgeries are really valid. They are good to those who have health problems. You know, sometimes you need to correct or get better something that is not a flaw, but an accident or something you were born with, and you need to correct small corrections to health, to the body, but not to be used as something to achieve a beauty standard, you know, something shallow. I think if you use plastic surgery, it has to be to medical purposes, you know, for medical purposes, in my opinion.
Yeah, totally agree with you. So, Gabriel?
Okay, so people came back to the main room. So I want to know, Vivian, how was the conversation?
It's a very good conversation about the group, and we speak a lot. We don't answer all the questions. It's impossible. I think we talk a lot, but it's a very good conversation.
That's good. I have a question for you, Vivian.
Okay.
Question number 5. Do you think we try to follow these beauty standards? You have any examples of this?
In my case, no, I don't think you need to follow these beautiful standards, but I think it's common. Then probably I'm not, because I'm more older, then I think the experience think like this. But I think in the young person, like teenagers, I think it's very difficult, and you need to speak a lot with the girls that is you're beautiful like you are, not the standard. Then I think this.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Thanks. Okay, so what about you, Marcia Amaral? How was the conversation?
Oh, thank you. The conversation was really nice. Our room were full of distinctive people, and we talk about what is beauty and the patterns and the standards of beauty, and we had very common points of view, and it was really a pleasure to be here and share with them during this conversation.
That's good. I have a question for you. Question
Go ahead.
number 6. How social media influence in our idea of beauty?
Well, social media is part of our life during most of the time, and social media has a great influence not only about beauty but about all the society behavior. And I believe that the bad thing about social media is that it try to manipulate you, try to make you think inside the box, okay, inside a bubble that you have to follow. And this point I really don't like.
Yeah, you're right. Social media sometimes is not good, right? Okay, guys, so our conversation, the time is almost gone. The conversation is almost gone. So thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure to be here with you guys. The subject was awesome. I loved it. I hope you guys liked it. And now, Fabio, it's your time, Fabio.
So thank you very much, guys, for the conversation. I hope you liked our meeting, and I hope see you again as soon as possible. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you one more time,
Thank you.
Gabriel and Fabiola, for being a brilliant guest.
Thank you,
Brilliant
Marcio.
host, sorry.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye,
See you.
Thank you, Gabriel.
Bye,
Thank you,
see you.
Fabiola. It was a
Take
pleasure.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
all. Bye-bye.
So,
E aí?
we are in live or not? I don't know.
We are on live.
Okay, I will try finish.
Fabiola, para encerrar a live, ou você pode, acho que, clicar direto em End, finalizar. Eu achava que você já sabia.
Não,
Pelo que falaram, é só clicar em End. Aí já para a live.
mas eu não tô no... Eu só tô com a janela do Zoom.
Então acho que só eu consigo. Vou clicar, tá?
Ok.
Tá.